Partnering with other organizations to share services or resources can be advantageous for your business and theirs. In these instances, contracts are needed to ensure the details of the agreement are clearly defined and understood by all parties involved. Today, we'll go over the importance of contracts and when they are necessary for you and your business. The information contained here has been prepared by Civitas Strategies and is not intended to constitute legal, tax, or financial advice. The Civitas Strategies team has used reasonable efforts in collecting, preparing, and providing this information, but does not guarantee its accuracy, completeness, adequacy, or currency. The publication and distribution of this information are not intended to create, and receipt does not constitute, an attorney-client or any other advisory relationship. Reproduction of this information is expressly prohibited. Only non-commercial uses of this work are permitted. During today's conversation, we'll discuss the basics you need to know about contracts, the information that should be included in a contract you're signing, and the best ways to assess the level of risk that an agreement may have on your business. When you enter into an agreement with another business entity, all details of your agreement should be noted in writing and signed by both businesses. The written document is called a contract. You should avoid entering an agreement where everything is agreed upon verbally and nothing is in writing, even if it is with someone you know very well. Sometimes this is referred to as a handshake agreement because the terms are only based on exchanged words. When you and another person verbally discuss agreements, there are many opportunities for misunderstandings or forgetting details. The greater the importance of the agreement or relationship, the greater the importance that there are no misunderstandings where one side or party, as the entities contracting with one another are often called, feel misled or let down by the other. There are different types of agreements with varying levels of significance that you could enter. Oftentimes, the title of an agreement can give insight into its magnitude of impact on your business. Agreements that parents sign to enroll their children in your care might be called care contracts. When you are working with other organizations in your community, you may receive a Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, which typically represents a lower risk agreement. Often, agencies that agree to work together for a common purpose without exchanging money sign a MOU. You might sign an MOU if you agree to work with a local early Head Start agency to comply with EHS program standards. Contractors and criminal records checks. A licensed child care program may have an independent contractor to offer supplemental educational or physical activities for children in care. Such an independent contractor is considered either an employee or provisional employee of the center for the purpose of licensing rules and must comply with the background check requirements as outlined in the Rules for Criminal Records and Comprehensive Background Checks Criminal Records Check on GED.gov. Please see the CCLC Indicator Manual or FCCLH Indicator Manual for additional details. Whenever you enter an agreement with another entity, make sure that the contract includes the business name, the business's physical and mailing address if they differ, a contact person for each business, including phone number and email, the start and end date of the agreement, and the terms of payment, including the amount, date it's due, and the form of payment accepted. If you are paying another business to perform a service for you, you will have expectations about the quality of work you will be receiving. If the job is not completed in the way you thought it would be, then you have a right to dispute the work if you put your expectations in writing in a contract signed by both qualities. Remember, always get clarification from a trusted source if you are unsure about anything in your contract. The more legally bound your business is to another entity, the greater risk your business could be taking on by entering the contract. It is in your best interest to have potentially higher risk contracts reviewed by a legal representative before you commit your business to the terms of the agreement. As contracts increase in levels of commitment and risk, there are more components to consider. Some signs that contracts might have a significant level of risk include: a large amount of money is being exchanged. Your business's profitability is critical to your business's health and success. If you are paying someone else to do a job for you, have you researched if they are reputable? Will you be able to verify that they are doing the job you are paying them for and that their performance meets your standards? It is most beneficial if you can add language to the contract that clearly states what happens if they don't do the job or if their performance doesn't meet your standards. Certain binding clauses are included. Toward the end of the agreement, it is common for medium to high-risk contracts to include legal phrases that intend to reduce risk. Think about whether the agency you enter an agreement with is trustworthy enough for you to take on their risk. Also, ensure that the contract protects you equally. Binding clauses do not mean you should not take on the contract. It simply is a flag that the contract has some level of risk, and you'll want to confirm that entering the contract is in your best interest. People who aren't affiliated with your business are coming on site or your business is going on site to theirs. Whenever you are at someone else's location, they may be put in a position to accept responsibility if you are injured unless you agree in writing to something otherwise. This is why you have liability insurance. If a child is injured in your home and a family suspects you are responsible, your liability insurance likely protects you from having to pay for medical or legal costs. Some contracts require proof of liability insurance or may ask you to add another business as an additional insured entity on your liability insurance. For more information, visit the DeKalb Thriving Child Care Business Academy website. If you have questions about the Academy, send them to the email address on the screen. And be sure to visit the Civitas Strategies YouTube channel for more valuable resources to support you and your business.